Hey everyone, welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. We're now in episode 2, and in the previous episode we built a number of things, but in this episode we're going to be beginning construction of our base. Now in order to construct your base, you need to go and look at the constructor. You need to have the hull block, and you need to have a core inside the inventory of the constructor. Now, in order to start your base, you need to build a base starter block. So, once you've got, as you can see, the base starter block requires 8 hull blocks and 1 core. So now you can see it's beginning to build the base starter block. Once we've got that, we're going to use the base starter block, go over to the water, and we're going to start building our base around where our oxygen generator is. I think that'll be a cool way to have our base next to the oxygen, because if we run out of oxygen, we're dead. You can see I'm already very low on oxygen, so I'm just going to go around to my oxygen tanks and fill up right now. Now, that's not filling me up, so if we take a look at the oxygen tank, you can see there's nothing in there. So if we place a couple more bottles of oxygen in there and walk up to it, you can see our oxygen is now refilling. Awesome, so we're back up to full, and at this stage, our base starter block should be ready. There it is. So if we take the base starter block, and we take the base hull blocks, and then we need to run over to the water. Now, the reason this is a bit late, later on in the day, guys, is because I'm kind of struggling. I'm new to the game. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go along. But I do remember that over here in this darkness that has blighted the land, is our oxygen generator. So if we go over here, you can just about make it out. There he is. There's our oxygen generator. Now if we click on that, you can see it's now produced 9 oxygen bottles. So I'm going to collect those. And in order to build your base, what I'm going to do is go onto land. It's very unclear about where we are right now, but we need to go to our inventory, put our hull blocks in our toolbar on the left, press escape, and hopefully we can start building our base, but we cannot. Maybe if we use the base starter block we can. Let's have a little look here. So I'm guessing we need to place this somewhere. I can't quite see because it's all dark where we are, but I'm going to place it. You need to flatten the terrain first, so let's go into the water a bit more. There we go, that's placed now. So if we press escape, no, let's not press escape. If we highlight these blocks, we can now begin building our base around the base starter block. But it's dark, it's nighttime, I can't really see what I'm doing. So I'm going to leave the base building until the morning and then bring you more content and show you how we build the base. Alright guys, so while it's nighttime, I've decided to come back to my constructor and show you some of the things that we need to build in order to get our base up and running. One of the important things is a small generator, and we also need a small fuel tank. That's in order to power the base and get other things up and running, like food production. We haven't got any food apart from our emergency rations right now, so we need to go and look at what the small generator needs. So you can see it needs 12 metal components. So if we go and find where the metal components are, you can see they should be in one of these little menus. 12 metal components. Let's find them. There they are. So in order to build that, we need iron ingots. And we have the iron ingots here. So we just had them in our inventory, so we placed them back in the constructor inventory. Now I just moved that across by holding down shift and left clicking. Simple as that. So if you remember, we need some metal, metal components. Yeah, so we need 12 of those. So we set them to build. We're going to look back at the small generator and see what else it needs. So it needs 2 capacitor devices and 1 reactor core. So now we need to find the capacitor devices. So if we have a look in here, we should be able to find them. Let's have a little look. Control device, capacitor devices. So to build capacitor devices, you need lots more things. You need electronics and cables. So we need to find where the electronics and cables are. So let's have a little look around. If we scroll up here, we can find it, hopefully. Electronics. Where are you, electronics? And this does take a bit of time to get your base up and running. You might need to look up a wiki and find all the different bits, which is what I did, because I'm really not quite sure exactly how to build a base, but I've been looking it up and it's given me an idea now. So capacitor devices, we need electronics. So I'm just going to build loads of electronics. Metal components, we need cables. Let's go and look at a small generator again. We need reactor core. So where's the reactor core? Let's have a little look. Reactor core, we need a motor, pipes, cables, electronics. Now by playing around inside here you can find everything you need. So I'm just playing around having a little look myself. We need to wait for everything to construct in order to build the next thing. It does take a lot of time, which is why I'm doing it while it's nighttime and we can't exactly see how to build the rest of our base. So let's have a look. We need electronics and 3 cables. We need 3 cables. So there's our cables. We're just waiting for them to finish. You're going to need loads of different things to build your base. Obviously, you're going to need control signals. You're going to need doors, glass plates for windows, pipes. You can turn your base into whatever you want. Alright guys, welcome back. So we've now built our computer parts. We've built our cables. Got some electronics and everything up and running. So now we also need to get a motor. So let's put that in our little construction queue and see what else we need to build. So take a look at the small generator again. Capacitor device, we need 2 of those. So let's find where those are again. Capacitor device, there we are. So we need 2 of those. And we go back to the small generator. We need 1 reactor core and 2 computers. So let's find those. 2 computers. Where's the computer? What looks like a computer on here? There we go. Control device we need. So let's queue a control device. That will enable us to build the computer. And you can see all of this does take a long time and it does have some trick to it. You just need to figure out which bits are where in the templates menu and what you need to build them. Thankfully, the developers are so kind to us and they've given us loads of little starting bits to help us out. They're so generous because if they didn't, I would be completely kerflummoxed. I wouldn't have a clue what I'm doing. Alright, so that's nearly done and we can now build our computer. So let's go back to the small generator. Obviously, remember you do need the generator, otherwise you're not going to have a clue or have any way of powering anything in your base pretty much. So we need another computer. Let's go back to here, find the computer again. I'm still getting used to the layout of this, so forgive me. This is a let's play obviously, so we need another control device. Let's queue one of those. There's the computer again, so we need another one of those. There we go, put that in there, and then we go back here, have a little look what we're building. Reactor core, 2 computers. Everything gets stored in this inventory, so it's not very tricky in the sense that everything's there, but it is tricky to know exactly what to use to build what stuff. So let's build some more electronics. Put some more of that in there. Go back here, and we need 3 electronics, 2 more control devices. So let's get 2 of those, and we need 1 reactor core and some more metal components. So where did we find those again? Metal components, there we go. So we get 12 of those, I think. And let's just double check what we need. There's lots of toing and froing, guys. Unless you've got it written down on the list, there's so many things that you need to build, which can be really tricky. So we need a reactor core. Which one is the reactor core? Let's have a look. It must be in this menu. There we go. So that needs 3 pipes and 10 metal components. So let's go back to this menu. 10 metal components and 3 pipes. So that needs metal plates. Oh, we've got loads of metal plates. So we'll put them back in the inventory. Build some metal components and some pipes. And hopefully once all this is built, we'll have enough to build our reactor core and then enough to build our small generator. Now, if you want to skip ahead, feel free. But this is basically what you need to do. It takes a while. It's not. It doesn't really bother me. I think the game looks spectacular now. It's daylight now. You can see daylight out here. So I'm going to go over to the water, and if you can see in the distance there, it says new base. So that's where we started building our base. And over there is a crashed ship. Now I'm going to leave that for another episode for us to explore. But right now I'm going to go over and begin laying the foundations for our base. Now you do need quite a sizable area so you can build everything in it. And you can see now I was working in the dark, but I did not a bad job. Build a few little bits here so you can just left click here with your little blocks and that basically places all the bits you want. And, you know, there you go. So I'm just going to lay this out nicely. hopefully you guys are enjoying this video and it gives you an idea of what the game's about. Maybe you want to buy it. It's not a bad price, £13.59, cheap as chips at the moment. As I said in the first video though, they are going to increase the price as they make it more feature complete. I'm loving the idea of it. I'm pretty sure they plan to increase the number of worlds, and you can actually travel around different worlds, build your bases on different worlds, find different creatures. I suppose it's not too different from the upcoming No Man's Sky in that regard, because you can go exploring and stuff. No Man's Sky, I'm super excited for. They still haven't come up with a release date, which is annoying, but I'm well excited for that. I can't wait. We're actually running out of food right now, so if I press 4, because it's number 4 in my menu on the left there, and then I left click, that makes me eat them. So now I've got full food and I'm happy again. So I've got my jetpack turned on. And let's fly above our little building that we're building, or the foundations at least. Not too different to Minecraft. I think you'll agree. It's just a case of laying down blocks. You can build different types of blocks, make it look all fancy. But for our purposes, because I'm new to the game, I'm just going to build a relatively boring base, because I really don't know too much about what's going on. So now we've built quite a big area. I think that's big enough for our base. I'm going to run back to base now and see if everything has been constructed as I needed. So then I can build the generator and get on with building the fuel tank, which will be our second part of our base. Now you need all of these things to make it work, and our main priority right now, I suppose, is getting food, because food seems to be a bit scarce on this game. If anyone's got any tips on where to get food from other than building it in your base, then do let me know, because I'm not 100% sure on that right now. I'm literally learning as I play, so you guys probably know about as much as I do, unless you've looked at the wiki, in which case you know more than me. Alright, let's look at our oxygen tank here. So we need to put some more oxygen in there. Walk up to the oxygen thingamajig. Do you know what? I think our ship has run out of fuel. So we need to put some more fuel in it. Where's our fuel tank gone? Fuel tank. There it is. So we can put some more fuel in there. Lovely jubbly. And that will make our oxygen tanks work. Cool. So you just walk up to it. I'm not pressing anything. It refills our oxygen. Wonderful. So now let's go around to the constructor and see what it has built for us. So you can see we've now got enough material to hopefully build the reactor core. Now let's find the reactor core again. I've forgotten where it is. Thrust and normal. It's in this menu, isn't it? Reactor core capacitor device. There it is, the reactor core. So we've left clicked that. If you want to stop these pipes being built, I don't know how to do that, so we'll have to leave them finishing. Then we've got our reactor core. Then we got enough for our small generator. And we can also get a small fuel tank, but I'm not going to queue that up right now. I want the generator built first, just to make sure we've got enough material for it. Now, I apologise if this is a little bit boring, but it's necessary. I promise you, to get your base up and running. And we don't have enough food. Our emergency rations are now at 2. And food is slowly depleting as we go along. It doesn't quite have enough detail as games such as Ark Survival Evolved in terms of how much food you have left. There's no figures attached to it, but you can see the bar in the bottom left corner. It slowly ticks down. So now we've got our reactor core, and we can now build our small generator. Now, in order to build the small fuel tank, you can see on the right there, it says we need 3 more cables. So let's go and build some more cables, get 3 more of those. Now, the small generator is gonna take a while, so I will be back very shortly once all this is completed and we can build the small reactor, and then we can go, the fuel tank, and we can go and put that in our base. Awesome, so that's all done now, and now we can build our small fuel tank. So once this is built, we're going to run over to our base foundations that we've built, and we can place all that in there. Now if you look up here in the templates menu, you can see there's a food processor, and it tells you exactly what you need to build it. 2 computers, 2 control devices, electronics, metal components, cables, and pipes. So we're going to need that eventually. You've got a fridge that you can store the food in. You've got water generator, oxygen generators, oxygen stations, tanks, spotlight cubes, all sorts of good stuff. So I think it's pretty neat. Now I'm going to take the small fuel tank and take the small generator. And now we can go back over to where we began constructing our base and place them. Then that'll be the first part of our base, which is pretty sweet. Now, think you'll have to agree, guys. Look at the graphics on this. I don't know if there's any graphical wizardry going on, but the way the game plays is absolutely superb. Like, it feels amazing running around. Some games, I don't like the game engine. It feels clunky to run around, and the mouse doesn't respond how you want it to, blah, blah, blah. But this looks absolutely spectacular. The clouds are amazing. You've got a planet in the distance there, and you've got all these little bits and pieces that you can pick up, which is obviously, as it's an early access game, pretty impressive. I think the developers have done an amazing job. Eleon Game Studios, if you've forgotten the name, which I did just then. Alright, so now let's look at our inventory. We've got our small generator and our small fuel tank, and we can begin placing them down. So where do you think we should put the generator? I guess I'm going to put it like there. And then our small fuel tank, we can just put that there as well, I suppose. And then you can start placing blocks around your base to make it look, give it some walls, give you some protection, things like that. So I'm going to carry on doing that. And I'm going to say thank you ever so much for watching. That's the end of the video now. Hopefully you've learned some stuff. Hopefully you've got an idea of whether you like the game enough to buy it. If you have bought it, please send me your tips. I need as many tips as I can get, because I don't really know what I'm doing. If you have enjoyed my content as well, please click the subscribe button and the like button and send me your thoughts in the comments. Alright, take care everyone. Thanks for watching. My name's Rhinestein. See you all on the next episode. Bye bye.